Kim finished in last and failed to qualify for the 2012 Olympic finals. The Chinese runner felt as if he had just let down an entire country, as Su's dream was to become the first Chinese athlete to run a sub 10-second 100 meters. He knew he had to take risks, so he swapped his leading foot for the races. Because of this, Su had to go back and learn the basics, but it paid off. In 2015, Su ran 9.99 seconds in the Diamond League, and in the World Championships, he did it again, becoming the first Asian athlete to reach a 100-meter world final. All of China's hopes rested on him at the Rio Olympics, but once again, he fell short, not qualifying for the Olympic finals. Su wanted to break the stereotype that Asians would never qualify for the Olympic finals. So in 2021, Bing Tim came back at the Tokyo Olympics in the semifinals, where this was his last chance. Only the top two would qualify, so Su put all that he had and won with an incredible 9.83 seconds. Not only that, but he set a world record for the fastest 60-meter split in history at 6.29 seconds. He thought he was
Ain't no way he that fast.
Nah, he wasn't fast. He just got lucky and got some.
You think he just
Yeah, that's all that is.
Tom said he just got lucky.
Images that'll make you say, damn, that's rare. An F-16 performed this terrifying low pass over a ground vehicle as a show of force. This must have been how Moses felt when he split the Red Sea. Can you imagine how loud this would sound? I mean, I already know how loud it is. I could just turn on the audio for y'all. In fact, I probably should. This is ojigi, a core part of Japanese social etiquette, where people bow. Generally, the deeper the bow, the greater the respect being shown. The deepest bow, dogesa, is performed on the ground, typically for extreme apologies or in very serious situations, and is rarely seen in everyday life. This CCTV footage shows a 61-year-old woman, Chen, throwing coins from the jet bridge at a plane's engine for good luck as she was boarding the China Southern Airlines flight in Nanning, Guangxi. She was detained for 7 days. This unique fountain installation is found in Pakistan, featuring a giant teapot pouring water into a basin below. Pretty cool. Here's a basketball covered in Vanta Black, which absorbs 99.965% of visible light. This dog was spotted hanging out on top of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Bro, who let the dog out? This ATM in Shanghai, China, melts your gold at 1200 degrees Celsius and transfers money straight to your account. The machine automatically analyzes the purity and weight of the inserted gold items, then melts them to confirm authenticity and precise purity. After evaluation, the corresponding value is transferred directly to the user's bank account or digital wallet, often within 30 minutes. The machines typically accept gold items weighing over 3 grams with a minimum purity of 50%. When headwinds match your airspeed, the aircraft's ground speed becomes 0, meaning it will appear to be stationary relative to the ground, even though it is still flying through the air. This is because the headwind is counteracting the aircraft's forward motion, effectively canceling out its speed over the Earth's surface. In 1995, MacArthur Wheeler robbed 2 banks with lemon juice on his face, believing it would make him invisible to security cameras, sort of like invisible ink. Unsurprisingly, he was caught within hours. This shit was so dumb it inspired the research that led to the discovery of the Dunning-Kruger effect. This is a humpback whale, large baleen whales that can reach lengths of up to 60 feet and weigh up to 40 tons. To put their size into perspective, they can be as long as a school bus and weigh as much as 8 elephants. This is what 1.5 million balloons looked like over downtown Cleveland in 1986. The event aimed to set a world record for the most simultaneous release of balloons and serve as a fundraiser. If the phrase "hell yeah" was a video, this would be it, and I am so incredibly jealous. This image is made of 32 shots by photographer Fendi Gan, taken over 40 minutes during a lightning storm in Kuala Lumpur. This is the Malayan blue coral snake, which, although strikingly beautiful, is also highly venomous. Its venom contains calliotoxin, which causes instant paralysis, and no anti-venom exists. Despite its danger, it's shy and rarely bites humans. A 76-year-old man from Hebei province has gone viral across the Chinese internet due to his chocolate-colored skin, a result of decades of fishing. Originally a local farmer, he spends all his spare time fishing and has explored various water bodies in the area for over 50 years.
Being out in the sun.
Images that'll make you say,
see, a white man can't do that.
You look like us.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real. Juggernaut has way more potential than what we've seen on screen so far. Yeah.
So the James Webb Space Telescope is about 1 million miles away from Earth. It's at a place in space we call the L2 point, Lagrange 2.
This began as a routine scan of the cosmos, a familiar silence, familiar stars. But then something shifted, patterns that didn't belong, shadows that moved where nothing should, a pulse
Yeah,
where
they
there should
saying
be a
NASA
void.
live.
The James Webb Space Telescope was built to observe, not to
Tell ya.
disrupt. Yet what it has uncovered feels less like observation and more like revelation. These weren't just data points, they felt like signals, like someone or something was on the other end.
Welcome back to Sunday Night in America. This week, NASA unveiled pictures from a new space telescope capturing the deepest images of the universe anyone has ever seen.
For decades, we looked out into space believing it was indifferent. But what if it was never empty? What if it has always been one?
Leslie's 10-point water test tells you exactly what your pool needs.
Mine needs more floaties.
Hey, neighbor. Find what your pool needs with a free personalized treatment plan from Leslie's.
The Publix Retail Associate. You'll make moments like this happen with a helping hand and careful attention to detail. A little bit of teamwork helps too. Your heart makes us Publix.
What if it has always been watching us? The Neptune anomaly. It started closer to home than anyone expected. James Webb wasn't even scanning deep space. It was pointed toward Neptune, a quiet, icy planet orbiting in the outer shadows of our solar system. But what it saw wasn't quiet at all. Neptune's upper atmosphere had cooled by nearly 10 degrees Celsius in just a few decades, a dramatic drop that made no sense. Solar activity hadn't changed enough to explain it. Internal planetary heat wasn't fluctuating, and yet something was altering the planet's climate. Stranger still, Webb detected subtle shifts in Neptune's magnetic field. Not random interference, but a low rhythmic pulse. Faint but steady, like a heartbeat. No known celestial mechanics accounted for it. No nearby objects, no gravitational flukes, no known sources of cosmic interference. Some scientists whispered about dark matter fluctuations. Others began to wonder if an external force, possibly artificial, was quietly influencing the planet. Was Neptune reacting to something unseen, or was it being acted upon? Whatever the cause, this was more than a weather change. It was a disturbance in a system we thought we understood. And Neptune, long ignored at the edge of the solar system, had just become the beginning of a mystery. The TRAPPIST-1 revelation. While the anomaly near Neptune was perplexing, the discoveries James Webb made in the TRAPPIST-1 system defied everything we thought we knew about habitable planets. Located just 39 light years away, TRAPPIST-1 is already renowned for its 7 rocky planets, 3 of which orbit in the so-called habitable zone of their star. But Webb didn't just confirm what we already suspected. It showed us something far more profound. By using infrared spectroscopy, Webb identified clear signs of water vapor in the atmospheres of 2 of these planets, TRAPPIST-1d and 1e. This wasn't just a trace amount. The data suggested dense, humid atmospheres. These planets, once considered theoretical targets for life, now appear to have the right conditions to sustain it. But that wasn't the most astonishing part. Webb also detected ozone-like compounds, molecular markers traditionally associated with biological processes on Earth.
Wow, those cool colors disguise the fact that you're looking at a sensational, spectacular set of photographs going all the way back to when the universe itself was a child.
While it wasn't conclusive proof of life, it was the closest we've ever come to finding the right ingredients for it. The implications were staggering. Not 1, but 2 Earth-like worlds in the same star system, potentially harboring life. And suddenly, the question shifted from, could life exist, to, what if we're not the only ones? The ancient galaxy of J, AD-SGS 130. James Webb's gaze didn't stop at the edges of our solar system. It reached back into the farthest corners of the universe, into a time long before our planet ever formed. One of its deepest surveys uncovered the light from an ancient galaxy known as JAD SGS 130, formed just 330 million years after the Big Bang. This discovery alone was groundbreaking. But what made this galaxy truly remarkable wasn't just its age, it was the way it emitted light. Webb detected an unusually strong signal of Lyman alpha radiation coming from this galaxy. This radiation, typically absorbed by neutral hydrogen in the early universe, shouldn't have been able to travel unimpeded, but in this case it did. It was as if the hydrogen surrounding the galaxy had already been ionized, allowing the light to pass through without obstruction. This completely upends what we thought we knew about the universe's epoch of reionization, when the first stars began to shine and transform the cosmos. What caused this early ionization? Could it be an unknown massive energy process or something more deliberate? This wasn't just an anomaly, it was a message from the past, challenging everything we believed about the early universe. Now first, like always, be sure to hit the like button down below. It helps us out tremendously with the reach of this video. Thank you. The resilience of white dwarfs. As James Webb continued its journey through the cosmos, it turned its attention to a part of the universe we thought we understood: the death of stars. White dwarfs, dense, cooling remnants of stars that have exhausted their fuel, are supposed to be the final stage of a star's life, marking the end of any chance for nearby planets to sustain life. Or so we thought. But Webb's findings in the WD-1856-534 system shattered that assumption. In a place where nothing should survive, Webb detected a massive gas planet orbiting dangerously close to the dead star. The intense heat and radiation from a white dwarf would normally obliterate anything nearby. Yet this planet remained intact, stable, and alive. Even more baffling, Webb's instruments identified traces of water vapor, sulfur compounds, and other chemicals in the planet's upper atmosphere, suggesting atmospheric regeneration, an ability to adapt despite the star's death. The implications were profound. If this planet could survive the death of its host star, what does that mean for the possibility of life in similar environments? Could there be entire ecosystems or even civilizations built around dying stars, thriving on alternative energy sources? White dwarfs, once seen as the final end, might hold the key to a new chapter of cosmic life. The mystery of Uranus and Neptune's moons. While James Webb has been uncovering secrets light years away, its gaze turned back to the shadowy corners of our own solar system, revealing startling new mysteries closer to home. The outer moons of Uranus and Neptune, long considered cold, lifeless relics, had always been written off as frozen rock, distant and unremarkable. But Webb's infrared mapping turned that assumption on its head. Webb detected unexpected thermal signatures on several small moons, such as Hippocamp and Despina, moons that shouldn't have any internal activity due to their distance from the sun. These heat patterns suggested that these moons, frozen in time, may still have some form of internal geological or cryovolcanic activity beneath their icy surfaces. Even more perplexing, Webb's spectrometers identified complex carbon compounds on their surfaces, possible organic precursors. How could such small bodies, orbiting so far from the sun, maintain internal energy for billions of years? Some theorize radioactive decay or tidal heating, but the organization of these compounds raises questions that these theories can't fully explain. Could something more unusual be at play here? Something that's been hidden beneath the surface for eons? Webb's findings are slowly unraveling an ancient enigma, and these small frozen moons may hold the keys to an even bigger secret: the signal from Messier 82. The James Webb Space Telescope has been on the front lines of cosmic discovery, but one of its most baffling revelations came from Messier 82, a galaxy that had already captured the attention of astronomers for its active star-forming region. Known as the Cigar Galaxy, Messier 82 was thought to be a chaotic, energetic place, filled with supernovas and stars forming at an
America's most disruptive glasses? Keep watching to know why. Try the 60-second trick to instantly achieve perfect vision at any distance. This optical engineer just discovered how to
What the fuck is that?
What?
That jumping out the water.
Prehistoric creatures are thought to be long extinct, but some believe that a few of these sea and land creatures might still be hiding somewhere on Earth. Let's dive into the possible evidence. Here are prehistoric creatures that may still be alive today. Number 15. Nautilus, 500 million years old. At 500 million years old, Nautilus, a type of shellfish, is older than dinosaurs by 265 million years. It's found in the Great Barrier Reef, Andaman, Fiji, and tropical waters at depths of 2,200 feet, and is considered a living fossil. Nautilus have chambered shells, 100 tentacles, and a muscular hood which helps it fight predators. Even in 500 million years of its existence, the Nautilus has changed very little. It grows to around 10 inches in diameter and has a white to orange shell with brown stripes. How this unique and ancient shellfish moves is incredible. Each of its chambers is filled with water and gas. By changing the gas content, it can change its buoyancy. It then injects the water out through a siphon, which offers jet propulsion movement. It can move up, down, forward, and back. This incredible critter has a parrot-like beak that it uses to slice its food, and its radula, another organ, grinds its food up before it swallows. It dines on crab, fish, and shrimp, be it dead or alive. For the most part, Nautilus will hang around on the seafloor, but will typically launch upwards as the sun sets in search of food. While not everyone will get the opportunity to see this shellfish in person, it's exciting to know that it's been around for hundreds of millions of years. Number 14. Pygmy right whale, 23 million years old. The pygmy right whale, thought to be around 23 million years old, might be alive today or it might not. It's that elusive, hidden, and rare that it could entirely die out and no one would be any the wiser. Who's to say it hasn't already? Thought to be one of the rarest whale species in existence, the pygmy right whale has only been spotted a few dozen times. There are a few fossils, few live specimens, and therefore not a lot of information about them. Scientists aren't overly sure what they eat, how they reproduce, or how they act. With the little information they do have, they've been able to ascertain that this whale is one of the smallest at around 21 feet long and approximately 7,700 pounds, and they live in the cold waters of the southern hemisphere. They also have an arched snout, which is unlike most other whale breeds. The last fossils to be found of the pygmy right whale were in Italy and Japan. From those fossils, scientists ascertained that this whale might originate from the baleen family up to 25 million years ago. Not a great deal of information is available on their diets, but the size of their lungs and heart suggests they don't dive deep for food. Scientists assume their diet consists of euphausiids and copepods and the odd snack of krill from time to time. Number 13. Imperial scorpion, 400 million years old. While not quite as prehistoric as the Nautilus, the imperial scorpion is still quite an impressive creature that's still alive today.
It's almost
It goes by the
5.
name of Emperor Scorpion and is the largest and oldest in the world. Oddly enough, it hasn't evolved or changed much since it came into
That was her
existence.
work.
The imperial scorpion is native to West
Watch
Africa,
somebody
but
come
is
to the
prevalent
place
in
and then
many
damn
different places
leave.
around the world. You'll mostly spot them in tropical forests and open savannas,
Like you
close
said,
to
they
termite
might
mounds,
already
in
sold
litter
it.
and debris, in burrows and under rocks. They weigh around 1 ounce, grow to up to 7.9 inches long, and glow fluorescent under UV light. Their natural blue and green coloring make them easy to spot.
I know, I want to
and
know
avoid
what's
by
going
humans.
on.
The way they detect prey is pretty neat. They have sensory hairs on their tail and pincers and use these to detect vibrations on the ground and in the air. While the imperial scorpion might be quite terrifying to look at, they are a scientific marvel, and we're quite pleased that they are a prehistoric creature that's still alive today. But their venom may have properties that can protect humans from bacteria and malaria. In saying that, their sting is still pretty painful, and they use it for hunting at night along with their pincers. Number 12. Cockroaches, 200 million years old. There won't be any doubt in your mind why cockroaches survived a mass extinction. These creepy crawly critters are impossible to kill. They can live a week without a head by breathing through holes in their body and only die because they aren't able to drink. They
You
can
hear
even
that?
survive without food for a whole month. If you thought that was the end of their mad skill sets, then you'd be wrong. They can hold their breath for 40 minutes, will survive being submerged in water for 30 minutes, and can run 3 miles per hour. They also love alcohol. What kind of crazy critter is this? There are 4,000 cockroach species in existence, and the cockroach as a whole is even older than the dinosaur. Given that it can tolerate high levels of radiation, we're not surprised it's lasted the distance. Number 11. Purple frog, 130
Probably
million
told
years
they
old.
ass that.
If you
Right.
mistook the purple frog for a blob, then you'd be forgiven, for it looks more blob than frog. Could that be why it's one of the few prehistoric creatures to have survived mass extinction? The purple frog has been around for 130 million years, and you can only find it in southern Indian mountain ranges. It's of an earthly purple hue and has
Yeah, they
darker
tell
and
me
lighter
about
brown
the
bits
frog.
on its feet and stomach, and it lives
Yeah, how old it
underground,
is.
at least most of the time. This subterranean lifestyle helps it avoid predators and extreme weather conditions, which may explain
It's
its
a
remarkable
blob.
survival over millions of years. The purple frog spends almost its entire life underground, only emerging for a few days each year during the monsoon season to mate. Its burrowing abilities are aided by its short, muscular limbs and spade-like feet, which allow it to dig through soil with ease. Scientists believe its unique adaptations are a result of its ancient lineage, which diverged from other frogs over 100 million years ago. Despite its odd appearance, the purple frog plays an important role in its ecosystem by controlling termite and ant populations. Conservationists are concerned about its future, as habitat destruction and deforestation in the Western Ghats threaten its already limited range. The purple frog also looks more like a mole than a frog, almost like it's going through an identity crisis. It has a pointed nose and rounded body that seems a little disproportionate. It's also fatter than other frogs and weighs about as much as a baseball. The purple frog couldn't get any more unfrog-like if it tried. It lives on termites and ants and sucks them up as if it were a mole or ant-eater. It also doesn't croak like a frog, but rather clucks like a chicken. We think the purple frog's a little uncertain about its identity. Now it's time for today's topic. In June 2025, a scientific research vessel stationed near the Larsen Ice Shelf in Antarctica recorded something extraordinary and deeply puzzling. While collecting glacial melt data with aerial drones and sonar scans, researchers from the International Polar Marine Institute, IPMI, witnessed a massive sea creature breaching the surface of the Southern Ocean. The footage, now under expert analysis, shows the creature launching several feet into the air before crashing back into the freezing water. Described as being over 40 feet long, with smooth, streamlined skin and long flippers, the animal bears an uncanny resemblance to prehistoric marine reptiles, particularly the extinct plesiosaur genus, long believed to have vanished over 60 million years ago. What stunned the team even more was the location. This occurred in an isolated zone previously sealed off by sea ice for decades, only recently accessible due to melting conditions. Sonar scans picked up large moving shapes below the shelf, though most remain unexplained. Some experts warn it could be an unknown deep-diving whale species, or a new kind of giant marine reptile. Others are calling it the most significant cryptozoological sighting in modern science. Official confirmation is pending, but the footage is real, and so was the splash. Number 10. Lamprey, 360 million years old. Lamprey is a type of parasitic fish that has survived 4 evolutionary extinctions. It mainly exists in the Atlantic Ocean, and most people will be quite pleased about that. They really are quite horrifying to look at.
couple,
They
like
have no jaws,
500,000.
but instead have a mouth that looks like a
That ain't
suction
nothing.
cup.
You gonna
Their
eat
tongues
that.
are razor
You
sharp,
already got about
and their mouths
500,000.
are full of horn-shaped
If they
teeth.
did,
Lampreys
if
are often
they
referred to
cut
as
that
living
lady
fossils
a
because they have
fucking
remained
check,
largely
and she got that
unchanged
bitch
for
in
hundreds of millions of years. They are anadromous, meaning they migrate from saltwater to freshwater to
Yeah, you
spawn,
see, she left
often
right after
traveling
they did.
hundreds of miles upstream to lay their eggs. After hatching, lamprey larvae spend several years buried in riverbeds, feeding
I
on
know it's hot as
microscopic
hell
organisms
outside.
before maturing into their
That's how
parasitic
hell
adult